Hi and welcome to my channel. So moving to the UK can be as expensive as really expensive, but it can also be as cheap as you want it to be. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can move to the UK without proof of funds, which means you move to the UK with or without your family, with or without your dependents. It's going to be entirely up to you without needing to show evidence that you've got money in the bank. You know what I mean? To be able to maintain yourself and your family when you get to the UK. So this is the same thing. It's going to apply whether you're still out of the UK, wanting to move to this beautiful country, or you're already in the UK trying to switch your visa. Because the truth is that maintenance funds, proof of funds, does not only apply when you're moving to the UK. It applies with UK visas, whether you're switching from within the UK or you're applying from out of this country, which is very important that you understand. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. How can you move to the UK? How can you switch a UK visa without needing to show evidence that you've got money in your bank account to support you and your beautiful family in this beautiful country? If you're new to my channel, obviously you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate your time and I do hope that you are finding these videos helpful, but most importantly, that you're implementing the things that I'm talking about. In fact, before I get started, if you're watching this and you're currently considering moving to the UK or you're already in the UK, I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below. Which visa are you considering applying for? And what are you currently struggling with, if anything, so that I can help you and just provide some answers, as and when I can. If you're already in the UK, for example, what are the challenges that you're facing? Also leave that in the comment section below. Which visa are you interested in? What would you like more information about? But I do have a free newsletter where I send information directly to your inbox so you never miss out on any vital information, that's going to help you for your professional and personal development here in the UK. So if you check the comment section below, you see a link to my newsletter. I send information about free visa sponsorship opportunities to move to the UK, work from home jobs that you can do, from anywhere in the world without those geographical limitations, geographical boundaries, side business opportunities that you can start in the UK so you can earn extra income and retire early. Because look, I'm all about retiring as early as 40 years old. That's my plan. That's my objective. That's what I'm currently working towards. Also, career progression opportunities. I am incredibly invested and passionate about career progression in the UK because for me, for example, that's the only thing that brought me to this country. It was the ability for me to progress in my career. That's the only reason I came to this country. So if I could not achieve that, then I would not want to live here. So I'll send that information to your inbox as well. So if you check the comment section, it's not going to take up to 20 seconds. You drop your name and your email. You're also going to find my contacts on there because I know we're talking about a pretty sensitive topic today, which is proof of funds. So if you've got any personal questions that you don't want to leave in the comment section below, please also feel free to use that newsletter. You'll find all my contacts there and you can contact me directly through that means. So let's get started. When we're talking about proof of funds, the UK can be one of the most expensive countries, to move to when you're thinking about the proof of funds. But look, I know people that have spent less than £200 to move to the UK, and I know other people that have spent almost £20,000 to move to the UK using exactly the same pathway. And this is something that when I see these people that have spent all of this money, I'm sat there thinking, maybe it would have been a better idea or a better option to come as a student instead and study a course like nursing. No bias at all, on the fact that I'm a nurse. But at the end of the day, who am I to tell anybody what they should be doing? It's your free will as an adult to do what you want. But it is important that you're thinking wisely, you're thinking smartly, when you're making some of these decisions. So how can you move to the UK, therefore, without proof of funds? This is something that has a lot to do with the type of employer that you apply for your job with. And that's why I can never stop emphasizing on the fact that you need to get advice when you're applying for some of these UK jobs, because the more information you have on the processes in the UK, the more successful you're going to be and the better the quality of the employers that you're going to be having. Again, this is something that is very relatable to coming to the UK without proof of funds. And by the way, if you're watching this, you're wondering who I am. So my name is Melvis. I currently work as, an advanced nurse practitioner here in England. So I'm a nurse, here in the UK. I moved to the UK quite a few years ago now. I was working as a carer in a nursing home. I've done domiciliary care, I've done support work as well before I eventually studied nursing as an international student to then progressing beautifully to the most senior nursing position, clinical nursing, which is working as an advanced nurse practitioner. So I've had my own fair share of, all of these visa things and all of that. I didn't want to get started into that, but I'm very passionate about career progression. So I've got a private career coaching program where I support nurses, carers, students, prospective student nurses, anybody that wants to apply for visa sponsorship opportunities in the UK, whether you're out of the UK wanting to move to this country or you're already in the UK looking to switch, I can support you through my private coaching program. Who is currently offering visa sponsorship? Most importantly, who are you? What are your personal circumstances? What's the best pathway for you to pursue? How do you apply for those jobs? What is needed? How do you prepare for the interview? How do you make sure that your CV is top notch, your CV is spot on, so you are absolutely the best candidate, for that job? That's what you're going to get as a member of my private coaching program, which if you check the description box below or the about section of this YouTube channel, you see a link to join that program. Look, it is something that the advice you're going to get, the guidance that you're going to get is going to save you a whole lot of money, a whole lot of stress, and a whole lot of sleepless nights that you're going to be getting on what should you do to move to the UK or progress in your career, whether you're a nurse or whatever it is that you're doing. So I cannot stress and emphasize enough on that. So back to the topic, that we're talking about getting, that proof of moving to the UK without proof of funds, getting that evidence that is going to exempt you from the proof of funds. Like I've said, it has to do with your employer. So there are different types of licenses to recruit overseas, which means that license if you're overseas or if you need visa sponsorship, you need to be employed by an employer that has a license to sponsor overseas candidates. So some of these UK employers are called A-rated sponsors. Say A as in the letter A. So if you get a job with an A-rated sponsor, then you are able to move to the UK or switch your visa without proof of funds. Basically, when you're an A-rated sponsor, this means that your license is, absolutely perfect. You're very compliant with the immigration laws and immigration policies when it comes to recruiting overseas candidates. It also shows that you're obviously, on good terms, obviously, with the Home Office and the immigration services. So as a candidate, if you're getting a job, it is very important to check what type of sponsorship license does that employer have. And look, that is your duty as a candidate to check. If you want me to do a video explaining, how you check, what are the differences, what are the other ones called, and all of that, do feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below so that I can do a video on that if people are actually interested. Because if people are not interested, obviously there's no need for me wasting my time recording that video for nothing. So please do leave a comment in the comment section below. Do you want me to do a video on the A-rated sponsors? How do you find out? How do you know when they're advertising jobs? In fact, is it just another hurdle that you need to cross when it comes to the job search process? The truth is yes, because all UK employers that offer visa sponsorship are not the same. So how do you therefore go about being exempted? How does it work? So first, you obviously need to apply for a job with an A-rated sponsor. Once you apply for the job, you get shortlisted, you do your interview. These particular employers are very compliant. They're the type of employers that, would make sure that they're following all the due processes, obviously, which is why they're A-rated sponsors. Once you're successful, and they're getting ready to give you that certificate of sponsorship, you then need to be really wise, really smart. Contact your employer at that point and say to them, look, Melvis, I'm really looking forward to working with you, but I've got my husband or I've got my wife, back home, and I've got 3, 4, 5 kids, how many ever kids you have. Do you mind to certify maintenance for my family and for myself, please? So you need to tell your sponsor that. Once you tell them, when they're doing the certificate of sponsorship, they're going to tick a box. So it's more of a tick box exercise as far as the sponsorship like certificate is concerned. Then they will tick it on there that says that they are certifying maintenance for you, the main applicant, as well as your dependents. So when they tick yes on that certificate of sponsorship, then the embassy, once you apply for the visa, because I've ticked yes, obviously, you're then going to be exempted from proof of funds. So it is a process that you do need to follow up yourself. With most of the UK employers, you have to tell them yourself as a candidate that you want that to be done. And that's why if you don't know, then obviously you're not going to tell them. And so if they don't take it, you need that evidence, you need the proof of funds, obviously, to have. And again, this is something that I tell all the members of my private coaching program, these are some of the tips, these are some of the, these some of the vital information that I make sure that every single member, once you have that, successful interview, to make sure that all these things are followed up so that you move to the UK in the least stressful way possible. And that's why I say to people, you need to be patient. By the way, if you like this video, I just want you to like the video. It lets me know that you're enjoying content like this, and obviously I should do more. I've done this because I had quite a few people requesting for this information. And again, if you're part of my private coaching program, we do go through these things in depth during those live sessions. Who are the people that are A-rated sponsors? How do you find them? There's a lot of information, at our nursing community hub that covers this. Again, if you're not sure, you're one of the members, we have our live sessions on Thursdays. Just attend one of those live sessions and we'll be able to go through it in detail. Again, some of those live sessions last 2-3 hours. They last as long as they need to be. But that's the advantage, obviously, of being a member of that program, because you get that personalized, you get that information that, it is just so industry specific that if you don't have good insight, it is very difficult to know some of these things. Because if you're out of the UK, how do you even get to know some of these things? So again, you need to be aware that there is quite a lot that is on offer to help you with moving to the UK stress-free. But if you don't have the right support, you can end up spending a lot of money. And when I see some people and hear how much money they've actually lost trying to move to the UK, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so disheartening. Again, you don't need to. Just make sure that you're getting advice from the right people, and you're not going out of pocket before you even move to the UK. Because the reality of it is that many of these jobs that we're doing in the UK are very low paid. That's why personally, career progression is something that I take it very, very seriously. I don't joke with my career progression. So again, that's how you do to come to the UK without proof of funds, or to switch your visa, within the UK without needing proof of funds, because you've already got that, from your certificate of sponsorship. So you need to make sure that when you receive that, you check, is it ticked? Is it not? Because some of the UK sponsors, for example, they have the license to recruit overseas, but they don't really understand a lot about visa processes. In fact, I've got quite a few friends and colleagues, that when I tell them some of these things, they're like, oh my God, Melvis, really? Because they don't know. Even though they've got a license to recruit overseas, it doesn't mean that they know these things. So again, you need to make sure that you're checking. If you've got any comments, you've got any questions, please do leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be able to join you on there and answer those questions and provide more information. But if you want to get, that info directly onto your inbox so that you're not reliant on the YouTube algorithm, which I call it a yo-yo, then you can join my newsletter, which I've dropped a link in the comment section below, so that I can send those updates directly to your inbox. But if you need that tailored, that individualized, and that personalized support, you want to be part of my cycle, then consider joining my private coaching program, which, like I've said, you're going to find a link, in the description box, as well as the about section of this channel, which, if you're going to benefit from this, then I'm looking forward to seeing you, obviously, in that program, so that we can get started. We can get to find the best pathway for you, so that you're not spending thousands and thousands of pounds to move to the UK or to switch your visa, of which you just need to be smart, you just need to be wise, and you just need to be really, really well informed, and not waste hard-earned money and hard-earned resources. Keep watching the videos. Obviously, I've done videos about different pathways to move to the UK, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.